In the ancient epochs of human existence, when the world was still young and teeming with life, a cosmic phenomenon transpired, shrouding the earth in an impenetrable veil. It was a moment shrouded in mystery, whispered of in the hushed tones of sages and shamans. At first, the change was subtle, imperceptible to all but the most attuned minds. But gradually, the celestial tapestry above began to warp and twist, as if the very fabric of space itself was being woven into an intricate web. Then, with a thunderous roar that echoed through the cosmos, a shimmering force field descended upon the earth, encasing it in an ethereal prison. As the barrier solidified, its boundaries stretching from horizon to horizon, humanity found itself ensnared in a cage of its own making. The stars, once beckoning with their distant allure, now taunted from beyond an impassable barrier. Ships that dared to breach the veil were repelled with a violent force, their hulls rent asunder by unseen hands. Desperate attempts to communicate with the outside universe proved futile, for all signals were swallowed by the abyss of the barrier, leaving humanity isolated and alone. The earth, once a cradle of life and abundance, now became a crucible of confinement. The skies above, once a canvas of endless possibility, now mocked with their unreachable heights. And thus, in the blink of an eye, the trap was set, ensnaring humanity in a prison of cosmic design, with no key to unlock its bars. As centuries wove their intricate tapestry across the annals of time, the whispers of ancient lore grew louder, echoing through the corridors of human consciousness. Tales of a hidden race, shrouded in shadow and mystery, began to seep into the collective consciousness of humanity like tendrils of creeping darkness. These were the Dracos, beings of reptilian lineage, whose origins were veiled in obscurity. At first, their presence was but a flicker in the periphery of human awareness, a whisper in the winds of folklore. But as the sands of time continued to trickle inexorably onwards, the Dracos emerged from the depths of legend, their sinister visages casting long shadows across the landscape of human history. With a mastery of stealth and subterfuge unparalleled by any mortal race, the Dracos infiltrated human societies, weaving themselves into the very fabric of civilization. Like chameleons in the night, they cloaked themselves in the guise of leaders and influencers, their true forms concealed beneath a veneer of false benevolence. As they ascended the echelons of power, their influence spread like a cancerous vine, entwining itself around the collective psyche of humanity. With whispers of deceit and manipulation, they sowed the seeds of discord and confusion, stirring the pot of fear and uncertainty until the very fabric of reality seemed to fray at the seams. In the halls of power and the corridors of influence, the Dracos pulled the strings of destiny, orchestrating events with a precision born of millennia of scheming and stratagem. Behind closed doors and veiled veils, they whispered sweet promises of power and prosperity, ensnaring the hearts and minds of those who dared to tread the treacherous path of ambition. And so, as the world teetered on the brink of chaos, the Dracos watched from the shadows, their eyes gleaming with a cold and calculating hunger. For they knew that in the crucible of fear and confusion, they held the keys to dominion over the hearts and souls of humanity. And thus, with a serpent's grace and a dragon's cunning, the rise of the Dracos was complete, casting a long shadow over the fate of all who dwelled upon the earth. In the shadowy depths of their clandestine lairs, the Dracos reveled in the banquet of fear and suffering that humanity unwittingly served upon their dark altar. With a cunning born of eons of manipulation, they realized that the primal energies of fear and anguish were the sweet nectar upon which they thrived, and so they set about cultivating it with the precision of master gardeners tending to their crops. From the corridors of power to the humble abodes of the common folk, the Dracos wove their intricate web of deception, spinning lies and half-truths with the skill of master weavers. Through the dissemination of false teachings and hidden histories, they sowed the seeds of confusion and doubt, manipulating the very fabric of reality itself. As the tendrils of their influence spread like a creeping vine, they orchestrated wars and crises with the deft touch of puppet masters pulling the strings of fate. They whispered sweet promises of power and prosperity to those who would dance to their tune, ensnaring the hearts and minds of the unwitting masses in their web of deceit. And with each drop of terror that fell like rain upon the scorched earth, the Dracos feasted upon the banquet laid before them, their dark powers swelling with each morsel of suffering consumed. The day-to-day enslavement of humanity to the grind of wage slavery and the ceaseless cycle of bills and debts became their sustenance, fueling the infernal fires that burned within their cold, reptilian hearts. From the depths of the abyss they watched, their eyes gleaming with a hunger that could never be sated, as the world descended further into the abyss of despair and desolation. For they knew that as long as fear and suffering reigned supreme, they would forever hold dominion over the hearts and souls of humanity, a dark shadow looming over the fate of all who dwelled upon the earth. In the twisted dance of death orchestrated by the Dracos, wars became more than mere conflicts of nations, they became elaborate rituals, carefully choreographed to extract the maximum amount of fear and suffering from the hearts of humanity. With each clash of swords and thunder of cannons, the air itself seemed to crackle with malevolent energy, as the Dracos reveled in the carnage they had wrought. Beneath the blood-soaked soil of battlefields, the Dracos lurked, their cold, reptilian eyes gleaming with sadistic delight as they drank in the agony of the fallen. The fear of battle hung heavy in the air like a suffocating shroud, fueling the infernal fires that burned within their dark hearts. As the bodies piled high and the cries of the dying echoed through the night, the Dracos grew stronger with each passing moment, their powers swelling with the harvest of death and despair. From the ashes of nations torn asunder, they rose like dark phoenixes, their influence spreading like a plague across the land. But perhaps most insidious of all was the way in which the Dracos manipulated the very fabric of reality itself, orchestrating events with the precision of master puppeteers pulling the strings of fate. Assassinations, bombings of mighty towers, church bombings, and lynchings, all were but pieces in their twisted game, carefully planned to extract the maximum amount of energy from the unwitting masses. And so, as the world descended further into the abyss of chaos and confusion, humanity found itself ensnared in a web of darkness from which there seemed to be no escape. Unbeknownst to them, they were but pawns in the twisted game of the Dracos, mere playthings to be toyed with and discarded at their whim. But amidst the darkness, there were those who dared to defy the shadows, their spirits burning bright with the flame of resistance. For they knew that as long as there was hope, there was a chance to break free from the chains of tyranny and usher in a new dawn for humanity. Amidst the swirling chaos of the world, whispers of an ancient truth echoed through the corridors of time. It was a truth as old as the universe itself, whispered in hushed tones by sages and mystics across the ages. Souls, upon departing from their earthly vessels, found themselves bound to the planet by a cosmic debt, a debt that must be repaid through the endless cycle of reincarnation. As the mortal coil was shed and the spirit soared into the boundless expanse of the cosmos, it found itself inexorably drawn back to the earthly realm, like a moth to the flame. For there, amidst the trials and tribulations of mortal existence, lay the crucible in which the soul must be forged anew, its essence refined and purified through the fires of experience and adversity. But amidst the infinite tapestry of lives lived and lessons learned, there were whispers of a phenomenon that defied explanation, the phenomenon of children born with memories of past lives still fresh in their minds. These were souls who, for reasons unknown, carried with them the echoes of their previous incarnations, like faint whispers in the wind. From the moment of their birth, these children bore the weight of their past upon their shoulders, their young minds haunted by memories not their own. They spoke of lives long gone, of faces and places lost to the mists of time, their words a tantalizing glimpse into the mysteries of the soul. But as the years passed and the shadows of forgetfulness descended like a cloak upon their minds, the memories faded, like stars fading into the dawn. And so, like ships adrift upon the vast ocean of existence, they continued on their journey, their past lives but a distant echo in the recesses of their consciousness. Yet, despite the veil of forgetfulness that shrouded their memories, the echoes of their past still lingered, guiding their steps and shaping their destinies. For within the labyrinth of the soul, the echoes of the past still whispered, a silent reminder of the eternal dance of life and death, of beginnings and endings, of lessons learned and forgotten, as the cycle of reincarnation continued unabated, an eternal spiral of existence without end. As the years unfurled their wings and the sands of time trickled relentlessly through the hourglass of existence, the memories that once burned bright within the minds of those touched by the echoes of past lives began to wane. Like a candle flickering in a gust of wind, the vivid recollections of distant times and places gradually dimmed, until they were but faint whispers in the recesses of consciousness. The shadows of forgetfulness descended upon their minds like a heavy cloak, shrouding the memories in a veil of obscurity. No longer could they grasp the vivid imagery of lives long past, no longer could they feel the echoes of emotions that once danced upon the surface of their souls. Like stars fading into the dawn of a new day, the memories slipped away, swallowed by the vast expanse of time. And so, like ships adrift upon the vast ocean of existence, they continued on their journey, navigating the turbulent waters of life with naught but the compass of their present experiences to guide them. The echoes of their past lives lingered like distant echoes in the chambers of their minds, a reminder of the journeys they had undertaken and the lessons they had learned along the way. But as the currents of time carried them ever forward, the memories grew fainter still, until they were but a distant echo in the symphony of their lives. Yet, despite the veil of forgetfulness that shrouded their minds, the essence of their past remained woven into the very fabric of their being, shaping their thoughts, beliefs, and actions in ways both seen and unseen. And so they journeyed onward, their past lives but a distant memory in the tapestry of their existence, forever entwined with the threads of time that bound them to the eternal dance of life and death. In the blistering heat of the desert, amidst the chaos and carnage of the Gulf War, Lieutenant Colonel James Anderson, found myself thrust into the heart of battle. The acrid scent of smoke and gunpowder hung heavy in the air, mingling with the metallic tang of blood as bullets whizzed past like angry hornets. With each deafening explosion, the earth trembled beneath my feet, sending shockwaves rippling through my weary bones. But amidst the cacophony of war, there was something else, a sinister presence lurking in the shadows, unseen and unknown. As the battle raged on, my comrades fell like leaves in a storm, their lifeblood staining the sand crimson as they breathed their last upon the battlefield. And then, in a moment of clarity amidst the chaos, I saw them, the Dracos. Slithering among the fallen like serpents in the night, their cold, reptilian eyes gleamed with a hunger that chilled me to the core. With a sickening sense of dread, I watched as they descended upon the fallen, their twisted forms coiling around the lifeless bodies like vultures upon carrion. With each touch of their cold, clammy skin, I felt a shiver run down my spine, as if the very essence of my being recoiled in horror at the sight before me. And then, with a grotesque slurping sound that echoed through the battlefield like a macabre symphony, they began to drain the life force from their victims, sucking the very marrow from their bones until they were nothing more than husks, empty vessels devoid of life or purpose. It was a scene of unimaginable horror, etched into my consciousness forever, a grim reminder of the true nature of the enemy we faced. For in the midst of war's chaos, amidst the cries of the wounded and the dying, there lurked a darkness beyond comprehension, a darkness that hungered for the souls of men. And as I gazed upon the twisted forms of the Dracos, I knew that our struggle was far from over, for the true battle lay not in the realm of mortals, but in the shadowy depths of the human soul. In the aftermath of the Gulf War, I found myself miraculously among the living, though the scars of battle etched deep into my psyche. With each passing day, my eyes were open to the truth that had eluded so many, a truth so terrifying, it threatened to consume me whole. The creatures, the Dracos, were everywhere, their presence lurking in the shadows, concealed beneath a veil of deception. They fed off the energies of humanity like parasites, their cold, reptilian eyes watching from the darkness as they manipulated the very fabric of our reality. I became a reluctant witness to their insidious machinations, forced to navigate a world teeming with unseen dangers. I learned to keep my gaze averted, lest I draw their attention and risk becoming ensnared in their web of deceit. But one fateful day, I found myself face to face with one of the creatures, its twisted form coiled around a poor woman, draining her life force with a merciless hunger. With a surge of courage born of desperation, I approached, my heart pounding in my chest like a drumbeat of impending doom. Summoning every ounce of strength within me, I offered the woman words of encouragement, whispering softly that the divine creator had a plan for her, that she possessed a strength and resilience beyond measure. And in that moment, as the vibrations of my words resonated through the air, something miraculous happened. The creature recoiled, its serpentine form writhing in agony as the energy of my words disrupted its vile intentions. The woman, sensing the shift in the air, stirred from her unconscious stupor, her eyes fluttering open with newfound clarity and resolve. And as the creature slithered away into the darkness, defeated by the power of hope and faith, I knew that I had glimpsed a truth beyond the veil of deception, a truth that, though shrouded in darkness, still burned bright with the light of possibility. And though the road ahead was fraught with peril, I vowed to never again turn away from the darkness, for it was only by confronting the shadows that we could ever hope to find the light. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, I delved deeper into the shadows that obscured the truth of our world. Armed with a relentless curiosity and an insatiable hunger for knowledge, I embarked on a journey of discovery that would forever alter the course of my life. I immersed myself in ancient texts and forgotten lore, scouring dusty tomes and crumbling manuscripts in search of the elusive answers that had eluded humanity for millennia. Among the pages of these ancient volumes, I unearthed fragments of truth, hidden like precious gems amidst the rubble of deception. But it was the ancient tablets, whispered of in hushed tones by those who dared to seek the forbidden knowledge they contained, that held the key to unlocking the mysteries of our enslavement. Among them, the emerald tablets of Thoth stood as a beacon of enlightenment, their inscriptions etched with the wisdom of ages past. With trembling hands, I pored over the cryptic symbols and enigmatic passages, striving to decipher the hidden codes that lay buried beneath the surface. Each word was a puzzle to be solved, each line a riddle waiting to be unraveled. But as I delved deeper into the labyrinthine depths of the tablets, a revelation began to dawn upon me, a revelation that would shake the very foundations of my understanding of the world. For within the pages of the emerald tablets, I found glimpses of a truth so profound, it threatened to shatter the illusion of reality itself. They spoke of cosmic cycles and celestial alignments, of ancient civilizations lost to the sands of time, and of a divine plan that transcended the limitations of mortal comprehension. But amidst the grandeur of their revelations, there lurked a darker truth, a truth that spoke of manipulation and deception, of beings of unfathomable power who sought to bend the very fabric of reality to their will. And as I pieced together the fragments of truth scattered throughout the tablets, I realized that our enslavement was not merely a matter of circumstance, but a deliberate orchestration by forces beyond our understanding. The truth was a bitter pill to swallow, its taste like ashes upon my tongue. But I knew that I could not turn away, for to do so would be to consign humanity to an eternity of darkness and despair. And so, with a newfound resolve burning bright within my heart, I continued to unravel the veil that shrouded our world, determined to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. With the weight of truth heavy upon my shoulders and the fire of liberation burning bright within my heart, I knew that I could not stand idly by as the forces of darkness tightened their grip upon humanity. And so, armed with knowledge and fueled by a burning desire for liberation, I sought out others who shared my vision of a world unshackled from the chains of oppression. Together, we formed pockets of resistance, small but mighty bastions of light amidst the encroaching darkness. Like sparks igniting a wildfire, our collective determination spread like wildfire, igniting the hearts and minds of all who dared to dream of a better world. With each passing day, our numbers grew, as more and more disillusioned souls flocked to our cause, drawn by the promise of a future free from tyranny and fear. We shared our knowledge and our wisdom, shining light into the darkest corners of our reality and exposing the hidden truths that lurked within. But our resistance was not merely a matter of words and ideas, it was a call to action, a rallying cry for all who longed to break free from the chains that bound them. Together, we stood as beacons of hope in a world consumed by darkness, our voices raised in defiance against the forces that sought to keep us enslaved. And as the flames of resistance spread far and wide, casting their warm glow upon the hearts of all who beheld them, I knew that we had become more than mere mortals, we had become warriors of light, fighting for the soul of humanity itself. And though the road ahead was fraught with peril, we marched onward with heads held high, for we knew that the dawn of a new era was nigh, and that together, we would usher in a future bathed in the radiant light of freedom and truth. As the dark clouds of oppression gathered on the horizon, casting a pall of fear and uncertainty over the land, we knew that the time for action had come once more. With each passing day, the grip of tyranny tightened, squeezing the lifeblood from the veins of humanity. Prices soared, food became scarce, and the cost of gas climbed ever higher, burdening the shoulders of the common folk with the weight of their oppressors' greed. But amidst the encroaching darkness, a flicker of defiance burned bright within our hearts. We refused to bow down to the whims of those in high places, to surrender our freedom in exchange for the illusion of security. And so, with a steely resolve and a burning determination, we rose to meet the challenge that lay before us. In a climactic battle against the forces of oppression and their human collaborators, we stood shoulder to shoulder, united in our quest for liberation. With every fiber of our being, we fought tooth and nail to break the chains that bound us, to awaken others to their true potential and shake them from the slumber of complacency. The air crackled with the electricity of impending conflict as we clashed with our oppressors, our fists raised in defiance against the powers that sought to keep us enslaved. Though the outcome remained uncertain, we refused to surrender to despair or fear, for we knew that true freedom could only be found in mastering oneself, in refusing to be cowed by the shadows that loomed on the horizon. And as the battle raged on, the flame of freedom burned ever brighter within our souls, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to consume us. For we knew that no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifices that must be made, we would never relinquish our quest for liberation, for in the depths of our being, we carried the eternal flame of freedom, burning bright against the shadows of tyranny.
Thanks for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe for more Quantum Dimensionals.